This is pretty awesome though, because I'm literally like the only person here right now. I'm starting to lose a little hope. It's getting dark. These trails are getting very, very thin. Just so you know what I'm working with. This is the valley that I'm walking through right now. What's up guys, it's Ryan and welcome back to another video. As you see, we are on the Telefrico here in La Paz, Bolivia. And that is because in today's video, we're gonna be heading south to the southern part of the city to explore more of that region because I am yet to do so while I've been here. So yeah, we're headed that way now. And there's two main spots I wanted to check out down here. The first is the Valle de la Luna, and the second is the Valle de las Animas. So the Valle de la Luna is the popular spot to check out down here. The Valle de las Animas is not quite as popular, but still sounds like it's pretty cool. So we're gonna see both of them, compare them. What I do know is the Valle de la Luna is about 15 Bolivianos to get in, which is like $1.50. But the Valle de las Animas is free, so that's one thing to already compare. They're both similar but different in their own ways. They're just really cool, unique landscapes with crazy rock formations. The Valle de la Luna is more popular because it kind of gives off more of a moon landscape, like you're on the moon, so that's super sick. But enough talking, let's head over there now. We gotta ride the Telefrico here for another 15 minutes or so. I think we might have to take a taxi as well, but I'll see you at the Valle de la Luna. All right guys, we have made it outside of the Valle de la Luna. After riding the Telefrico, I got a taxi here from the station. And now we're here, so let's get to exploring. Like I said, we do have to pay to get in. I think it's about 15 Bolivianos. And then we can check out the area. There's different hikes and stuff. And just the landscape I'm looking at right now is quite unbelievable. And just before we get started, all of this landscape we're about to see was all created from erosion. And funny enough, the name Valle de la Luna comes from Neil Armstrong apparently saying that it resembles what he saw the landscape of the moon looked like. So I'm pretty excited. Let's get into it. Hola. ¿A un bilet?
20 bolivianos.
¿20?
Sí. ¿Una persona?
Sí, una persona.
Ingrese por favor por la puerta principal por la derecha, ¿sí?
Gracias. All right, we just made it in. It was 20 Bolivianos, not 15. Still, $2, less than $2. Let's start exploring. First thing we're seeing here is quite the creation here. I don't remember hearing about this being on the moon. But I mean, look at the landscape around here. These tall spires with the moon-like terrain. I just need my astronaut suit and I'll practically be on the moon. This is pretty awesome though, because I'm literally like the only person here right now. So having it all to myself, I get to explore it all and get lost in the Bolivian landscapes that engulf me right now. It's very peaceful though. Just being in the middle of nature, nobody around, outside of that busy city life that is La Paz. Look at this massive bug I found. It's like a bumblebee, except it's like 10 times bigger. Views are getting pretty crazy up here though. And I have spotted a couple people, but still unbelievable. Little viewpoint out here to the right. The bench you can just kind of chill at. You can see quite far out here into the suburbs of La Paz. The city is back towards that way though, I believe. Pretty crazy what you can find just 10 to 15 minutes outside the city. All right, so we made it to a decision we must make. We can go the route that will take 15 minutes or the route that'll take 45 minutes. I think we have to go 45-minute route. We're already out here. Gotta get the full experience. Here we got a sign that's showing the nice grandfather, El Bien Abuelo. Trying to figure out what we're looking at here, but if you guys see it, let me know in the comments. Maybe it's this thing here? I'm not sure. But we shall continue. We ain't got all day. This is really what the moon must have looked like, huh? Crazy. Crazy, crazy. So can I technically say I've been on the moon now? Probably not. Okay, now we're looking at the Turtle Hill, El Montículo de la Tortuga. I'm just having a hard time seeing these things. The arrow is pointing here. Is it this thing? I really don't know. They could make it a little easier to figure out what I'm looking at. Now, I must say, I'm not the biggest geologist, but looking at all this rock and earth creations, it's pretty darn cool. Looks like we got another man-made structure here. I don't think Earth made this. We got a abuelo and abuela with a heart and a little chair in the middle. So I can just sit in this bench and enjoy God's beautiful creations. Ah, this is pretty cool though. Pretty cool. Just here in the middle of nowhere, Bolivia, on a typical Thursday afternoon. So crazy. What is my life? The fact that I get to just do this stuff week after week, so fortunate. Oh my, so cool. Found a bridge here. Keep moving. Views from the bridge. And oh boy, we got another sign. The window of the south. Can we find it? Maybe it's just talking about this whole area. I don't really not picking up what they're laying down here with these signs. These arrows aren't doing a very good job. Whatever, we'll keep walking. So while we're walking here, I'll give you guys some more fun facts. So this area actually used to be part of a larger mountain range, and over time, the water carved it out to create what it is today. Oh boy, got another sign. Mother Moon, Madre Luna. Okay. At this point, I think they're just messing with us. Ooh, and here we got the Crater de la Luna. Sick. They sure do have a lot of benches here. There's one here. There's one right up here. If you're needing to make stops this frequently, you got some bigger issues at hand. Now we're making our way to the Cañón del Silencio. Canyon of Silence. Pretty cool terrain here. And look at this. The Hole of Doom. Don't want to fall down there either. Keep walking now. It looks like we got a nice viewpoint up here. It's the Mirador de la Luna, or the Luna viewpoint. Check it out. Best view of the area. There must have been a lot of water coming through here to create this landscape. All right, we're back on the roadside now, kind of overlooking everything, which must mean we're nearing the end. Such a sick place though. And I didn't notice this when I was coming in, but they got like all different country flags too. They got Egypt, Poland, the US, Mexico, Peru, Israel, China, Spain, Canada, France, Russia, Portugal, and then of course the Bolivian flag. They must have just thought, okay, where do most of our tourists come from? Let's put that flag up. Last couple views of the area though before. Looks like the exit is right down there. And oh my God. Let's just say I'm glad I made my way out here. I did have to convince a taxi driver to take me, but I think it was worth it. But now that we are at the entrance of the Valle de la Luna, let's see if we can convince a taxi to take us to Valle de las Animas. Might be a little harder because it's a little farther out of the way, but we got time. Hola. ¿Puedes darme Valle de las Animas?
¿Sí?
¿Sí? ¿Cuántos cuesta?
100 bolivianos la tarifa.
¿De cuánto?
100 bolivianos.
100? Sí, está bien. Alright, found a driver to take me. It's about like a 35-minute drive. And he said he'd do it for 50 Bolivianos, which is like $4. $4.50. Pretty good deal. I paid 30 just coming out here, and it was only like a 7-minute drive. So a little bit of a drive here, but luckily we got some beautiful landscapes to look at while we head that way. So I'll see you at Valle de las Animas. Okay, never mind, I'm stupid. I realized 100 is 100. For some reason I was thinking it was 50, but it's 100. So even then it's still only $8-9. So not that expensive, but I think we'll be there in like 15 minutes. We really out here now. Well, we made it. And this is what I'm looking at right now. We got some cows just chilling. And we are really out here in the middle of nowhere. So my driver dropped me off here because the road kind of just ends. And I guess from here I just start walking. According to my research, there's no like entrance or anything. I mean, again, it's free. It's kind of just like an open land that you can explore however you want to. So that's what we're gonna do. Apparently there's some cool lookout spots here, so we'll definitely try to do that. The elevation is close to about 4,000 meters, which is about 13,000 feet. So I'm noticing that already. It's gonna take me a little bit longer than typical hike would. But yeah, let's start exploring this place. Hopefully I don't get lost, or maybe hopefully I do, I don't know. As long as I make it out alive. We're going into the valleys of the Valle de las Animas. So similar to Valle de la Luna, this place was also formed over years and years and years of erosion, but it's just to a much, 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 much larger scale. Apparently this place spans over 5 kilometers, and there's a lot that you can explore. I don't think I'll be able to get to see all of it today, but as long as I can just get a glimpse, that's all I ask for. And going back to the name, Valle de las Animas, I believe Animas translates to spirits or souls. I guess they named it after these super steep, tall spirals that come out of the earth. And I guess local legend says that the formations represent the souls of ancient people that turned to stone. So it gives the place a mysterious, sacred energy, apparently. And when the wind blows through the canyons here, apparently you can hear the voices of these souls. So definitely got a little eerie feel now that you know the background. Let's see what we can find in here. So we've been walking up here, and it looked like the trail was gonna end, but it just gets narrower and narrower. This is cool. I'm definitely one of the only people here right now. And this elevation is no joke. I'm getting pretty winded. Luckily on the way back, it'll mostly all be downhill. Look at this though. We're just making our way through the middle of this valley. You can see the walls though, all the rocks from the erosion, different colors of the sediment. Once again, God's creation continues to amaze. Look at these trails I'm working with here. Getting quite narrow. We're just going for it though. I paid 100 Bolivianos to get out here. You bet your ass I'm gonna explore this area. All right, been going about 30 minutes now. Definitely working up a little sweat, but we have seemed to come to a little bit of a problem. The trail has kind of turned into what looks like I'm gonna have to do some rock climbing. What I will say is the nice part is, so far, there's only been one path to be on, so I can't really get lost. All I have to do is turn around. But we can't stop now, we gotta keep going. I'm hoping we're getting somewhat closer, but this elevation is no joke. All right, let's continue. All right, we made it to the rock climbing area. Found a bit of a trail again. Unfortunately, I'm not cool enough to record and climb at the same time, but we made it through. That's all that matters. Okay, I feel like this always happens when I say something stupid, but now we got an intersection. We can go left or right. Left looks a little more promising, so I guess we'll go that way. Please take me to the promised land. Just so you know what I'm working with. This is the valley that I'm walking through right now. Not a whole lot of room. Definitely getting a little sketchy at times. All right, we're about 45 minutes in. This is the trail I'm working with. Steep incline, very narrow walls. Isn't this fun? Well, guys, I'm starting to lose a little hope. It's getting dark. These trails are getting very, very thin, and the steepness just doesn't stop. And there's no signs of this ending. So at a certain point, I might have to turn around. I think I went the wrong way, because there's no way this would be a trail for the average person to go through. I'm climbing rocks. I'm like having to go sideways, getting through small little cracks. This is intense. So I think I'll have to live to see another day. Start making my way back down, because it'll probably take a while. I mean, it's slippery, it's narrow, steep. I think I'll live to see another day. I don't want to end up on the news for a 22-year-old American gets lost in the middle of nowhere, Bolivia. So yeah, we'll start making our way back down. It was a good effort, I think. It's been about an hour I've been going now. Still got to see some pretty cool nature here, but I don't think it's worth dying over. So we'll start making our way back down. I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. Well then, we made it back to where we started. And let's just say that didn't go as planned. But when does any of the stuff I ever do go as planned? So yeah, originally I got dropped off kind of right by that tire. And I decided to go up that way, which, I mean, looks like a trail, right? I think where I should have gone though is up this way. Probably would have been a little smarter because it's an actual road. But my taxi driver was saying that that was the farthest he could go. And I thought that way looked cooler, so But still, going through those valleys and stuff was really cool. That was a little sketchy. Definitely got a little dirty. But that's what adventure is all about. So with that being said, now I need to figure out how to get out of here because there's no like taxi pickup spot here. I kind of just got dropped in the middle of nowhere. So we'll start making our way into the nearest area of civilization and hopefully I can get a ride back to the Telefrico station, which will then take me back to my place. Here's something you'll only see out here in the middle of nowhere though. Got a woman washing her clothes in what looks like a pond of dirty water. Got some dogs just chilling here, a chicken over there. I love it. Awesome. Out here in the rural La Paz, Bolivia. As we make our way back down though, we still do get some good views of the city down there. Looks like there's some more cows up here too. Probably the same ones I saw earlier. And some indigenous women doing whatever they do. Look at this guy just eating the shrubs, enjoying life. This is what it's all about. Finding wild animals in the middle of nowhere, exploring, getting lost. This is what life's all about. That's my guy right here. Although I wouldn't want to get rammed by those horns. I am getting tired, hungry, and thirsty now though. I had quite the day of exploring the southern part of La Paz. So let's figure out how to get out of here. Hopefully there's a taxi or something nearby. Looks like we made it back to a little town area. I think it's called Oveuo. I am really out here right now. I have no idea where I am. Check out the area. You got little shops around here. Locals just walking around. See some houses up there. And for the first time, I just had a local smile and wave at me. I feel like the people of Bolivia aren't that kind of extroverted. They're a lot more quiet and reserved. That was cool. There's this older lady in the passenger seat of a car, just smiled and waved at me. But as we walk through this little town, I've seen several taxis drive in and out. So I'm gonna try to grab one of them and head back to the main station so we can get a full recap of the day. Hola, ¿puedes saberme estación El Pavi? Sí, sí. ¿Cuánto cuesta? 30? 30? 30 está bien? Sí, gracias. Alright, we got a taxi. We're headed back to the Telefrico station. At least I think so. I think I communicated well enough to get me there. What a cool little area this is though. I would have never known it existed if I didn't come out here to the Valle de las Animas. Though I got lost, it's about the journey anyways, right? About what you get to see and do along the way. Perfecto. Gracias, amigo. Hasta luego. Ciao, ciao. All right, we made it back to the Telefrico station, which means I can say with confidence we will make it back to the house. So I think we'll wrap up the video there. Gonna head back into the main part of the city now. So about to explore some of the southern part of La Paz. What a fun adventure it was, between getting to explore some really cool landscapes and getting completely lost and seeing all sorts of other stuff along the way. Made for a fun time. So I hope you guys enjoyed getting to see the Valle de la Luna and the Valle de las Animas. Even though I got lost, I got to experience and explore along the way. And of course got to interact with some cool locals. My Spanish is slowly getting better and better, so I'm able to communicate and actually travel around these places without getting completely screwed over. Though I may have played a little extra for some of the taxis, it's, you know, nothing in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.